All right, good morning. It is Thursday, May the 15th, knocking on the door of the Alabama weekend. So here's some of the topics that kind of cover the next several days. It's got warm afternoons, and for that matter, warm overnights. Lows will be right around 70 for many folks. We do have the potential for some weekend rain, not a washout, but we look dry the closer you get to the Gulf Coast. We'll explain that, and prolonged warm stretch. Not surprising given the fact that we are headed towards mid-May, and it's the gateway to summertime. All right, so here's the big picture here. Feature over the northern plains. Showers and storms there this morning. The trailing cold front that extends down towards Oklahoma, Texas, and the Ark-La-Tex region. That'll be what we watch over the next couple of days. This will be a source for thunderstorms in the middle of the country and possibly northern Alabama as well, but no concerns here this morning. We have some low broken cloud cover in the northern half of the state. That should mix out with some sunshine. So I'm doing this at about 8:15. There's a look at our temperatures. Warm everywhere. 70s extend into the Ohio Valley here and across the state. The warmest spot, Mobile at 77, Dothan's at 74, Hamilton and Gadsden still in the 60s. So let's go to our upper level pattern here over the next several days. What we're likely to see here is this ridge that's in place. It likely is going to try to hang tough. However, the question is going to be, where does that ridge axis go, and how far south can this trough get before, in order to give us some rain, if that makes any sense here. So let's play this forward. This is Thursday afternoon, about 3 o'clock. Again, your ridge over the Gulf. We go to Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and I'm going to depict an area here. I'm going to grab my analysis tool. So here is our ridge, okay, the ridge axis, about right there. But then you've got your trough. And in between here, that's your disturbed weather, okay? So out ahead of this base of this trough, that's where our storms are going to be. That will originate, it looks like some point on Friday night into Saturday morning. So let's go into the weekend. This is Saturday afternoon, and now this ridge has flattened out here. So it no longer has that pronounced ridge in place, and we're likely to see increased rain chances within this sector here between really the Shoals, Tennessee Valley region, all the way up to the Ohio River Basin. Go into the weekend, Sunday at about 3 o'clock. Ridge begins to build back in place, but we're still going to have some little short waves that move through here, and that'll bring about rain chances. And then early next week, ridging resumes, and we should have warm temperatures all across the state of Alabama and really the southeast. So, all right, we mentioned the potential for rain and storms in between the ridge that's in place and that trough. And there you have it. This is Friday through the day, and this would go till Saturday morning, about 7 o'clock or thereabouts. So for us, the question is going to be, what do we get? Will it hold together? And possible threats. So this is a look at the SPC outlook. Slight risk area in extreme northwestern Alabama. Marginal stretches all the way down to the Birmingham Metro, just north of Tuscaloosa, and then up I-59 towards Gadsden and Fort Payne. The threats, really with this, it's not a very threatening system for us. We're going to be far removed from the frontal boundary where this initiates, and what that typically does is that leads to a weakening trend when the line moves further away from that front. It loses forcing, and our instability will be lacking. So I've got this from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the morning, Saturday. The threats include gusty winds, hail, heavy rain. Again, I'm not very bullish on this particular threat here, but some of us could, in fact, see rain. So let's go back to Friday evening. Start this at 7 o'clock. The entire state of Alabama is dry during this period. It's not until early morning, this is at about midnight, where we're just now seeing this line of thunderstorms approach northern Alabama. Again, the front itself is near Kentucky and the Indiana-Illinois state line. So that's where these storms originate. They're going to cascade to the south. Momentum will carry them into northern Alabama, but look at the timestamp. This is early in the morning. Instability values drop quickly as we lose daytime heating. So by 3 o'clock, this line's already weakened to some extent. Not to say there could be some strong thunderstorms here, but we're losing two things: the lift from the front, where these originated, and instability values will be dropping. This is at 7 o'clock, and honestly, these high-res models are starting to trend away from the rain even getting into central Alabama and south of I-20, which will play a role in the forecast as we head into Saturday afternoon. But through the morning, early afternoon on Saturday, partly cloudy skies and really no threat of rain during that stretch. We may see some convective pop-ups in the afternoon. So the timing of this, 3 to 7 from, say, Hamilton down to the north side of Birmingham. It'll be a little bit before 3 a.m., probably midnight to about 3 o'clock for areas across the Tennessee Valley, and nothing severe in nature once you get south of that line. Let's push it ahead even further. So this is now noon Saturday. This is a global model. So this is going to have a lower resolution, but I kind of understand this. If the rain fizzles out in northern Alabama, that might leave a cool air outflow boundary where it kind of fizzles out. And that's typically an area we look at for afternoon convection. So I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibilities to have some pop-up thunderstorms. Wherever that line fizzles out at, say I-20, there and point south would be our best bet of seeing afternoon rain. Into Sunday we go. Stalled boundary still in place. Again, we're in between the ridge and the trough. We're right on the northern periphery of the trough, or of the ridge, and there's going to be several short waves that travel right along that ridge. And I think that's going to give us rain chances really the entire day on Sunday. It won't rain all day, but we will have the potential there for the development of showers and thunderstorms. This is at 2 o'clock. And then moving ahead even further to Sunday evening, depicting widespread showers and thunderstorms. I've picked a model here that favors a wetter setup. There are models calling for it to be drier. I do this for kind of worst case scenario if you have outdoor plans. And I kind of am leaning towards this solution versus a drier one, at least for Sunday. Into Monday we go, the new work week. The threat for rain again shifts further to the north, and much of the state will be dry. And something you may have noticed, a theme here, the Wiregrass, South Alabama, there's no rain in your weekend. And that is likely going to be the case into next week as well, as the focal point of the rain will be to the north. There's 3 o'clock on Monday. The Appalachians, northern Georgia, Tennessee, and the Mid-Atlantic will be the focal point of the rain. With that in mind, the 7-day rainfall totals make sense. The highest rain totals are in the furthest northern extent of the state, while south of Montgomery, 1/4 inch. The Wiregrass, maybe not a drop of rain. Now, this is the 7-day outlook I just showed through Sunday, but this would just account also for convective pop-ups that are in the forecast next week. So not a huge rainmaker. The system's over the weekend, but localized heavy downpours could be possible with anything that forms. So the Alabama afternoon here on Thursday, a lot of upper 80s there, some 90s, Montgomery, Demopolis, Dothan, Andalusia, Troy, all potentially at 90 or above here today, summer-like indeed. Lows tonight, a lot of 70s. When I think of 70 degrees for low temperature, it makes me think of like July and August. And that's kind of what the setup is going to call for. Our highs on Friday, once again, going to be pushing the envelope of 90 degrees. We'll see more 90-degree readings further north in the state, but we'll have increasing clouds as we approach the evening, especially in North Alabama. But again, a quiet afternoon, and then we have that weekend rain that is certainly a possibility. So we'll have more updates on this as we move forward. Again, the focal point of the forecast, kind of in summary here, is the potential for rain and thunderstorms. So again, there's your SPC outlook from the wide view. There's it from the state view. And the timing of this, 1 a.m., the further north you are, up to 7 a.m. Not a big threat, not overly concerned with this one. But of course, as always, we will watch it. And I'd be remiss if I didn't show this time of year our beach forecast. Not bad along the Gulf Coast. We've got a music festival there, I believe, this weekend. Water temperatures are getting there. 70s are still on the chilly side, depending on who you are. But we look largely rain-free well into next week through Thursday. So if you're headed to the beach, certainly looks like a good setup for that over the next week or so. Let's look at your forecast discussion here on this Thursday morning, the 15th. We'll have another update on Friday. Hope you all have a great day.